And I think, I've been now with Next Health for about coming up on about 3 years, and I always wanted to be in this space. I think the longevity, proactive healthcare space is, early innings and probably one of the most massive, wildest things we're going to see in our lifetimes. And found Next Health and felt it was the right fit, the right company, and we'll talk about that more today. But yeah, we Next Health is we're doing things all longevity and health optimization, and we're on a great growth trajectory. But that's where the story ends to today.
So let's talk about the direction and what that really means. Because I feel like, based on what I know, I feel like health in this country is it's difficult, right? I mean,
Yeah,
there's so many diets, there's so many fitness trends, and there's so much in terms of just medical influences going on that we hear so many mixed ideas and opinions and medications out there. What
yeah,
does it really mean for Next Health to develop longevity? How do you approach it? What does it mean to you?
yeah. That's a great question. It's a loud market out there for sure. And
Right,
if you go to social media, you'll hear eight different things that contradict each other, probably in just a few scrolls.
right.
So I think the better answer to that question, what I would tell you is a little bit of our founding story. And, this kind of directly relates to, I think, what a lot of customers are thinking and feeling and having, this dilemma in their own life. But so our founder and CEO, his name's Dr. Darshan Shah, absolutely incredible guy. He, is a surgeon by trade. He's one of the youngest doctors in California history, and got into surgery, then moved into plastic surgery. And, life of a surgeon is probably not the best health lifestyle, right? 13-hour
Right.
days, back to back. And
Yeah.
new dad at the time, it's about 8 years ago now. And he found himself in really poor health. And, he's having high blood pressure, cholesterol, hormones, all the things that kind of all attack you at once. So
Right.
he decided to take a step back from what he was doing. And he's like, I'm a doctor. I should be able to get my health in check and take a functional approach and do all this. And he had the exact same experience that the majority of our customers do. So he went on this journey
Hmm.
and he, was doing IV therapy at one place. He was doing cryotherapy another place. He's doing blood testing at another place. He was doing longevity treatment somewhere else. And, he took a step back and he's like, oh my gosh, this is really difficult. It's expensive. I have no continuity of care, and I have to manage this whole process by myself. And it like leaves you in this perpetual feeling of like, what am I doing? And it's easy to give up or get lost or confused. So
Right.
being an entrepreneur, he said, look, like I can do this. I'm going to create the most perfect concept where people can come, have a one-stop shop type of experience, and that's where the vision of Next Health really came from. And to circle back to your question, the way that we
Yeah.
designed Next Health is that you can come into a Next Health and you basically have access to all the latest and greatest under one roof. But the most important thing is you have a direct relationship with a provider.
Hmm.
So all of our locations have a nurse practitioner, a physician's assistant that is on our Next Health team that works on site full time,
Hmm.
and they have a direct relationship with all of our patients. And I think what I would tell you is that there's two KPIs that like keep us up at night, two statistics keep us up at night. One of them is that the average American spends 20 minutes per year with their provider. So 20 minutes per year,
That's
right?
it.
And
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah. And, at Next Health, for a membership of, a couple $100s a month to $300 a month, you can come in and have access to a provider 20 minutes per week or 20 minutes every other day if you wanted to. It's a knock on the door. It's a direct relationships conversation. They know your file, they know your history, they're, helping you make decisions and educating you and managing your longevity and health journey. And if you go to really anywhere else out there, you're kind of left to your own device. It's a very transactional experience. You go in, you do service A, you leave, you maybe come back to service B,
Hmm.
but you don't have that guide and that mentor and that person that's coaching your longevity journey. And I think that that's how we combat this chaotic, loud world is that we provide you this coach and mentor that becomes yours. Like that's
Hmm.
your provider at Next Health, and they put you on the right track and are always having that continuity of care that I think patients are looking for.
Hmm.
And it all goes back to Dr. Shah's story and what he experienced, and we don't want that for anyone out there, which is why we're trying to come to every community in the U.S.
What are you seeing are the biggest struggles people have out there health wise? I mean, I think if we look at the world now, we've got obesity, we've got heart disease, cancer, obviously. I feel like things are affecting our longevity, especially with younger people, it seems like. So,
Mhm. Yeah.
what do you think we're doing wrong? What are you seeing out there based on the knowledge you have and the experience you have?
Yeah, I think it's a couple different things, but I think a lot of it is not understanding what's happening internally and having access to a data-driven approach to your health.
Yeah.
I think that, for many years, people wake up and they're like, I feel good today, or I feel bad today, or I feel mediocre today. And I really don't know why. It's just kind of, was it my diet? Then I sleep well?
Yep.
And it's just kind of disregarded and move on with your life. But, at Next Health, what we truly believe in is a data-driven approach. So, what we do is we, immediately draw a patient's blood and we measure thousands of biomarkers that are happening in your body. And that's the true tale of health, by the way. Like that's looking under the hood and understanding, like, why do I feel the way I feel? What is this going to mean in 5 years or 10 years?
Mm-hmm.
And I think having that information and understanding, why do I feel tired, or why does this why am I not sleeping well? Why am I not feeling to my fullest? And having a
Yep.
direct answer and saying, look, hey, it's this biomarker right here. We can fix it by just doing these things and quickly see and feel results.
Yeah.
I think that's the difference maker. Um, you know, traditional healthcare, you're doing blood work really when you ask for it.
Yep.
And even when you ask for it, it's years at a time, right? That you
Yep.
get that insight into your health. So I think people get frustrated, and I think they just don't know what's happening. And I mean, food sensitivities is huge, right? I mean, you could be eating something your entire life that you think's healthy, and it might not be. You might be allergic to it. It might
Mm-hmm.
not be good for you. And we
Yeah.
have testing that identifies that. And for some people, it's life changing. It really is. So
Yeah.
data is key. Data is key.
So how is it different than getting just a regular blood test from your doctor? Because like it's someone like me, let's say, I go and it's like, well, hey, we'll do some blood work once or twice a year,
Yep.
and then it's a quick 5 minute discussion of whatever they see or they don't see or whatever. How is your approach different than that?
Yeah, so we look at a whole bunch of biomarkers, and I think traditional healthcare looks at a very small amount that
Okay.
basically tells you, are you healthy? And I think there's we have a what we say here is, health is not the absence of disease, but health is the abundance of vitality, and that's one of our slogans that we say at Next Health. And what we mean by that is that, traditional healthcare settings, they want to know, are you okay? Right? Are you sick? Is everything fine? They look at a small level of biomarkers in your blood, and that's okay, right? That
Yep.
means that you're healthy. And what we do is we take that so much further. We measure thousands of biomarkers, things like, hormone levels and vitamin D levels, even inflammation in your body. I mean, anything that is related to longevity and health optimization to the next level.
Yep.
And you're just not getting that traditional healthcare. They're looking at, are you sick? We're looking at, how do we make you feel incredible, and how do
Yeah.
you maximize your life? And there's so much to look at, so many more indicators.
Wow. Yeah. And you have some innovative services, like therapeutic plasma exchange. Can you talk about some of the innovative things you're doing with the people you work with?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So, let me zoom out real quick and just talk
Yeah.
about Next Health, as a service and our service menus. So,
Yep.
we are the one-stop shop. We basically have four different verticals of our business, but, things like IV therapy, things like vitamin shots, things like access to heat and cold and red light. I mean, that is day-to-day staples that people can't live without.
Yep.
And it's just part of a daily kind of healthy optimization plan. So at Next Health, we have all those things, and that allows our members to come frequent our location on a weekly basis and optimize their health. But the most unique and innovative thing about Next Health is what we're doing in the back of the house, and that is our longevity department. And we're doing things like executive physical programs where we do full body scans, and we measure, again, thousands of biomarkers, and we look at things like cancer screenings. I mean, it's the most high level diagnostic testing you can get, and I'll share with you really incredible success story on